Hey folks, welcome back to Working with Pages, adding and removing columns. Now this is going to be a very basic tutorial on adding and removing columns. Basically it's a tutorial on working with the Bootstrap grid system framework where you can add and remove columns from an existing layout if you want to. It does require a little bit of HTML fidgeting, but I'm going to give you an idea of how it works or some of the things you can do. First of all, it's best if you can start off with a page layout that has the number of columns you want to work with, period. Okay. We have many different pages that we include in the package, and we also have different pages that have different headers. You may want to have a certain number of columns within your page. There is an easy way, basically. I'm going to say easy, although it may not be if you're a brand new user to working with Expression Web, but you can actually copy and paste entire sections or content sections from one page to another. So I'm going to give you that demonstration so that you can actually learn how to grab a piece of code from one page and paste it into another to give yourself a different layout. We call it adding or removing columns. Basically, you're just copying and pasting code. For example, let's take a look at our About page. Here we have a nice layout, and perhaps we want to use this particular layout in a different page. Perhaps we are working with our Jumbotron carousel page. And we have in here just a basic column structure that we don't want to use. We want to use something that looks more like the About page. Well, what you would do is open up your About page. Put your cursor somewhere up near the top left where you would see the title up here, or whatever piece of text is at the top of the content area of the page. And you're going to go and click on the container fluid or container div tag up top. Okay, it's going to be the one that sort of shows leftmost in the page. So click on that just to highlight it or select it. Now if you don't have the quick tag selector, if you don't see this bar here, go to your view and make sure quick tag selector is visible. Okay, so we're going to click on the div container fluid, right? That's the class that we're looking for. And we're going to then switch to code view, and everything is going to be selected for you. Okay, the entire editable content region is going to be selected for you. Okay, so what you can actually do is click it, switch to code view, edit, copy. Okay, that's our About page. So we go over to our Jumbotron carousel, and we do the same thing. We scroll up to the top, we put our cursor in the page, we find the div container fluid, we click it, switch to code view, edit, you got it, paste. So now we've copied the entire content section, right, from one page into another. Now the only thing you may run into, and I did this on purpose so you could see, is some of the images may not show up here. The reason being is if you're working with a page that's in the root folder and you copy code into a page that's in a subfolder, you would also need to update the images. So to get around that, I'm going to show you a little trick. We're just going to undo this here, and I'm going to turn my folder list back on. Okay, so let's say I wanted to use the content of the About page in a page that's within the subfolder, but I'm going to leave the page in the subfolder. Right? I'm going to just drag a copy of the About page into the subfolder. That way the editor will update the images for me. Okay, it's going to make all the changes I need already. There's the picture of my people. Then I'm just going to repeat the process. I'm going to switch to code view, edit, copy, go to my Jumbotron carousel. All right, I'm going to put my cursor here, div container, code view, edit, paste. Then I'm going to switch back over. Oh, there we go. Now we've got pictures showing up. And of course my video is really going to be tiny. It's going to look a little bit squished in the window here, but now we've basically taken the layout from our About page, well, this one here actually. We've taken this layout, we've copied it, and we've put it into the Jumbotron carousel page. Just a matter of grabbing chunks and moving chunks. And we've tried to design it so that, at least in the default pages, there's just one area that you need to copy and paste. Now we can also do this for, let's use another example. If If you don't want to see another example, that's pretty much the whole process. I'm just going to demonstrate one more time for folks who are not too comfortable with this. So let me just close these pages down and I'll give you another example. For example, our index page. Let's say that we don't really need or want the layout for the content in our index page that we have right now. We want to try something different. Maybe we need something with 4 columns. We can go to our page 4, which has 4 columns. All right. And we're going to put our cursor in here. And we're going to find the div container fluid, just like so. And of course, your layout or template is going to look different than this, but we're using the same basic Bootstrap framework for everything so that the coding is consistent from site to site. So we're going to click Code View, Edit, Copy. So we're copying the page 4. We're going to go back to our index page, click in here, div fluid. All right, there we go. Selects all the goodies in there. Code View, Edit, Paste. All right, so now we just have a nice simple column structure that we want to use instead of the different layout there, and that's we've copied a layout from one page to another. Like I said, if you can start with a layout that you like, it's easy enough to take a page, make a duplicate of it, or rename it to something else and use that for what you want. And it's definitely easy enough to copy the we'll call it the header component. If you want to have a specific header component, you can just copy it from one of these example pages into your page, and it'll work a lot easier that way for you. But this is also another option as you start to get start to get a larger and larger site and need different variations of pages for different reasons.